In this video, you're gonna watch me help a new sports coach start his business. This is a real call recording of someone who applied to 100K Sports Coach but wasn't ready, and so I helped him take the steps and I walked him through what he would need to do in order to be ready. To keep his privacy, I've edited out all of his responses, so if it sounds like I'm just asking a bunch of questions, that's why. And if you're a sports coach, pay attention to how I'm having the conversation so you can do this with your clients too. Let's jump in.
Hey, I'm excited to connect. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what made you want to reach out and actually book the call and talk about online training. Cool. Yeah. We definitely talk about what that'll look like. So you finished playing in 22, is that right? What you been doing since then? What do you sell? I had a
Okay.
feeling since you had your headset on. I was like, okay, how you liking it? When you say it aligns with your purpose, what does that mean? Okay. What do you want to do? Very cool. Did you experience that when you were playing? That's always how it is, right? Or if I just knew then, I know now, it could be a different story, right? Have you started training anyone online or in person? I just did a testimonial interview with one of the guys that I've been working with for a little bit, and it was really fascinating. It was the same thing. He was like, I had seen all these guys making it work, and I'm like trying everything, and it's not working. And he paid a coach like $6,800 and then spent another $2,000 on ads and didn't make any money. And he's like, okay, I'm missing something here. And then we focused in on his niche and who he's actually the best in the world at helping. And he just hit like 5,500 this month so far. But it took him a little bit of time to get there, of working pretty hard on it, being really efficient. He's got some good existing content creation skills already. So you're at the very beginning, is that right?
Mhm.
And you haven't even really been coaching people on this, correct? Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. You're definitely not ready to work with me. Here's what you have to do. You got to go work with clients and get results with them. Now, should you choose online versus in person? Either way, I would probably go online and I would make these as like your main posts. I would say the problem statement that you just shared with me. Coaches don't have enough time in groups to actually train you and understand your mindset to get the most out of you. If you want help, I'm helping a few people for free. And then you do a one-on-one call with them and get them a result through a screen like this where you can see them. Because eventually, what I would help you create is a leverage coaching program. I don't know how much you saw about my business, but basically, I created a curriculum for a bunch of baseball catchers. They go practice the curriculum at home, and then they send me a video and I review it. So we're taking essentially what is an hour lesson once a week, productizing all the teaching through video, and then I just give the feedback. So my time is the most valuable, and they get it. They can do it whenever they want. In order to do that, though, you really got to understand how to get someone results. And right now, if you're to do that, it probably wouldn't work because you just haven't done enough reps when it comes to actually coaching them. Here's like exactly what I'd recommend. I would probably start a new Instagram page themed on the idea that you're trying to do. So the DM that you sent me was on my Ange Bourgeois page. That's my personal page that I like started in high school and whatever. But how I started my business was through a different Instagram page called Catching Made Simple. And that's where I built that up. So then you're also not pushing it out to all your connections from high school and college. It's a new page that's focused on one thing, and then you just offer to help for free and get some testimonials from it. And then if they want to keep working with you one-on-one, just like a lesson, then awesome. And if not, then you got to just figure out what's your offer going to be, how are you going to help them all. Especially too, because you haven't actually coached on this before, right? And then to do it online, that's even a little bit harder in a sense than if you're in person. And
Yeah.
so what I like to say normally is get results in person. Right now, if you don't have clientele in person, it might make sense to post online because it could be easier to get clients online when you focus in on the problem than even doing it in person if you don't have an existing book of business or clientele there. So if you're not working with anyone in person, it might actually make sense to go online first. But then I would start either face-to-face or a one-on-one Zoom call, one-on-one private session. You give it away for free. You try to get them a result. It's a mindset thing. That's also going to be harder to sell than if it's like a physical skill. There's not as tangible of a difference, right? There's a reason that the first thing that I solve with my catchers is a catching stance because it is so visibly different and it's the foundation of everything. But you take a kid who's like looking like this and then you get them in a good stance and the kid believes and the parent believes, they're like, oh wow, this thing works. I can see immediate progress. It's harder to do from a mindset. I would think about maybe going more skill based, but you could go mindset based. It's just harder to quantify it because they have to self quantify. You can't put the images next to each other and say, look at the difference. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? What's your action items going to be coming out of this? And then I'd put a time frame on it. And so
Mhm.
then at the end of it, then it's, hey, do you want to keep doing this? Has this been valuable? Would you want to keep doing it? Okay. And then I would still give them a discount because you're still learning, right? If you actually want to do this, then you're going to get significantly better as time goes on, and your rates should reflect that. And so right now, keep them low, learn, get really good. And if you actually become the best in the world, then you can charge a lot, and you have a bunch of people trying to work with you too. What did you play? So now we're talking, right? So because and this is why, like, anytime I get a kid, I don't start with the mindset. I start physical. And then as the mindset stuff comes up, then we train that because they're not developed enough. You take a college athlete, they have the fundamentals. Like, the mindset stuff is probably going to matter more to them. But for the youth player, which is where the majority of the market is, it's going to be better if you start with the physical side. So then when it comes down to soccer, it's okay, what are the skills? So we got dribbling, we got passing, we got controlling the ball when it's kicked to you, we got kicking, we have defensive IQ, spatial IQ. But again, that would be more so the later stages, because in order to even do that, you got to have all the other base foundational skills. And so then I would say, what do the parents want the most? What do the kids want the most? What's the answer to that? And out of those skills, which one is the most exciting? Which one do they want the most help with? So this is what I would do if I was in your shoes. I would give them the thing that they want the most. If I would go back and do my own program again, I might have started with a pop time specific program, which is like when the catcher throws it down to second base.
Yeah.
It's the easiest to measure. Everyone wants it, like all that stuff. I would say that's the same for you with shooting. And so then you put together basically a program of 4 weeks. I'd probably start in person and be like, hey, I'm getting some guys. You could even do it for free in like a group training or something like that. That would be a great way to then get testimonials and get results in person. Take a video of them before they kick the ball, do your work, take the video of them after they kick the ball. And now all of a sudden, now you have video proof of the transformation from one lesson in person. And you're starting to build a business in person. And then we can take that and we can post online. That drives the in person and it also drives the online. What are your actual action steps coming out of this? Your number one goal should be to go get a result for someone, whether that's in person or online. It's probably going to be easier in person for a skill like shooting, and then get really good at that, capture that, post it, pin a post on your thing. And I would still use the same thing. Hey, at team practice, you don't get individual skill training. If you want help with your shooting, shoot me a DM. I'll help you for free online. That's how you start that flywheel. Then you get people coming in, and now you're starting to make a little bit of money. And then once you do that, then come back to me and we'll actually build everything out correctly so that you can actually grow a real online business. Yeah, absolutely. Because you're not ready. You haven't gotten the results yet. Now you have the knowledge. You can get the results. You just haven't done it yet. You don't have the process of how you're going to teach it, which is really important if we're going to go online. You haven't really started posting. And so let's just solve those problems. Once you solve those problems, come back and we'll build the whole thing the correct way from the beginning and set you up to get going. Now, it took me 21 months to get to 100K, almost 2 years, right? Now I'm spending probably 15 hours a week on my business, Catchy Made Simple, and I've made over $15,000 this month, which is pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Like, there's not too many things that you can do that will actually give you that. And that's why I'm doing this 100K sports coach thing, because I have the time, right? And there's all the parents that come to me, they're like, hey, do you have this for other sports? Do you have this for hitting for baseball? Do you have this for infielding? Hey, my other son plays football. Is there a quarterback guy? No, but there should be, because the system works really well. So, and as we look at just the whole wave, online coaching is beginning to really get popularized because people are seeing how effective it is. If you do it and you take it serious, there's tremendous opportunity there. It does take some work too on the right things too. Hopefully this conversation steered you away from a little bit of mindset stuff. You'll get there. You go through all the fundamental skills, like boom, I would go hard on that. There may still be a market for it, but especially when you're starting, dude, go after the foundational skills that are most in demand. Start training it in person. Start generating lesson revenue from that stuff, and then build your program. Start posting on social. Great question. My age demographic is, there's two ages that come to me more than any other age. The first age is like a 12-year-old. They're like 2 years away from high school, want to play in high school. The parents like, hey, either they're like, hey, he's really good, we're trying to get him going, or they're like, he's on that border and I want to make sure that he makes the team, that he gets ready for season.
Yeah.
The other age group is like an 8-year-old, and it's like the parents like, hey, I think my kid's got something. He loves it. I want to set him up with the right foundation from the beginning. And so those are the two people. So like when you look at it too, in terms of total numbers, there's way more people in the youth demographic than like high school. And this because there's a lot of people that don't play in high school. This allows them to get the information and the feedback from a trusted coach from a young age. And then that allows you to also be really focused in your content, make it super simple for the kids. You get to align with the parents as like a trusted third party to help, because the kid's going to listen to you. Even though you say the same exact thing as the parent, they're going to listen to you because you're cool. You're younger. I have parents tell me this all the time. They're like, oh, I told him that. He wouldn't listen. And then all of a sudden you come in and say it, and oh man, that makes so much sense. You know, and that's just how it is. Go get all your stuff done, right? Go start getting results in person, generate some lesson revenue. Because I don't know what soccer coaches charge, but like at least for me, catching is like a little bit more specialty and stuff. I would charge like $80 an hour, which like that's good money. You know what I mean? Just doing that. But then when you add in the online piece, like you can go even more because your time goes down. So anyways, go make some money there, get some results, get some processes, start posting, and then come back to me and I'll help you actually build everything correctly so it can scale. Yeah, absolutely. Great to meet you. Yeah, you have a good one.
If you watch this whole thing, you now have a solid idea of what it's like to book a coaching consultation with me. And if you're ready to do that, you can apply today at www.100ksportscoach.com/apply. But if you haven't gotten results in person yet, or you haven't even started posting on social media, now you know what to do. Start there, go through the rest of my content here on YouTube, or go grab my book at www.100ksportscoach.com/book. I'm Ange Bourgeois. Let's win together.